So Danny, I want to talk a little bit about, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's totally fine. But I would love to talk about your relationship with Danny and how Righteous Gemstones came along, because originally he wanted you, was it for vice principals or was it something
it was
else?
Vice principals.
So he originally, did you audition for vice principals and get it? And then it was during Longmire and you were not allowed to do both at the same time.
It was like,
is that what happened?
Yeah, it was like a weird confluence of a lot of things. So we were canceled by A&E. And there was this Warner Brothers still had us under contract for like another 2 months. But that was before, or Warner Horizon, whatever it is. And that was before things were really saved. Like that wasn't really a thing then, right? So we were like, okay, well, we're under contract.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah, but we're done, right? Like A&E didn't want us anymore. And so there was that, and I think that was like a 6-week period between when A&E dropped us and Netflix picked us up. So in that 6 weeks, I started auditioning, and I auditioned for vice principals, and I had to go through like a lot of callbacks because I'd never done comedy. And Sherry and Sharon are awesome, and they brought me in, and I had all these really interesting experiences I'd never had before, like where Danny's in the room with me and we're just like improving the whole scene and just laughing our faces off. And I was like, man, this feels so fun. And
had you ever done that before?
No, I mean,
improv?
No, not the way that everyone in that cast has done it. I mean, I had done improv in college, like for fun and in class and stuff like that, but never professionally like that. No, but I think you just sort of like let it go. And there was an improv troupe at Middlebury that I really wanted to be a part of, but I couldn't stop laughing. So I couldn't do it. Like they all could keep a straight face and I couldn't do it. So I was like, I'll do a cappella. Anyway, so I did that. We had so much fun. And then they offered me the part and it was awesome. And I was like, this is amazing. And then legitimately and they knew the whole time that I was technically they knew all the things. There was no and then like 2 days later, we got the call that Netflix was going to pick us up. And I was like, how does this work? And I, without being too whatever, I tried a lot of different ways to make both work because they knew that Vice Principals was only going to be 2 seasons. So it was only going to be that calendar year. So it would only affect 1 season of Longmire because we got picked up for 3 more, right? Or we got optioned for 3 more. And and it just didn't work. Certain people wouldn't budge and certain things wouldn't make it work. And that is okay. In hindsight, it all worked for the best.
Now that you have a child, you obviously want less for yourself.
Well, yeah.
Maybe you won't be so driven.
So intense about my career. Yeah, you remember this story. So So anyway, moving on, I came back to Longmire, so happy to. You know what I mean? I wasn't upset that the show got picked up. I was rad. I just wanted my cake and I wanted to eat it too. Which a lot of, I hate to say, male actors get to do time and time again.
Get to do all the time.
They sure do. But a lot of times us women are told that we should be lucky that we even have a job. Interesting. That being said, when I came back to Longmire, I was stoked to have another 3 years with all of us. And
of course.
Then, people always say this in this industry and in life, like, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. This thing could cause something in the future. And when you're in the moment and grieving what didn't happen, you're like, it'll never happen. Yeah. And then cut to like, we'd been wrapped for maybe 6 months. And I remember when I got the text message on my phone, I was driving. I wasn't driving. I was at a stop sign. And I got the ding and I looked and it was an audition for Danny's next show, which was The Righteous Gemstones. And I was like fist pumping in my Kia Soul that I'd rented from Albuquerque. I was just like, yes! Like, at least I get to go play again. And it was very different. I auditioned once with Sherry and Sharon and then I didn't hear anything. For 3 weeks, I had a trip to Bali and I was like, do I go? Like, what if I get the call back? And this is hard. Sometimes we put our lives on hold because an opportunity might come. And I decided to go because I'd always wanted to go. And I did my trip and I still didn't hear anything. And here I am ready to fly back from Bali to test for this show.
Right.
And if I have to, it's happening. And I think like 2 or 3 days after I got back from Bali, they're like, you have a test next week for HBO. And I was like, I thought that was gone. And I went into the room for the test, which I'm like pissing my pants, and but also so excited. And the first thing Danny says to me, he goes, oh, look, it's the girl who chose Netflix over us. And I was like,
the girl who chose Netflix.
Dude, that was like almost 4 years ago. But it was a sweet, funny kind of like way for him to go like, I remember you. And that's something he's really, really good at. Is remembering people, is like knowing what he likes and then wanting to work with those people, not only because he likes their work or he thinks they're talented, but he gets a vibe from them. And then if he knows them, he knows they're cool people, because so much of what we do it's so much time. Like when we commit to something, we're spending so much time with people that you have to go to work with people that you respect and I think you genuinely like. You don't always have to agree or, get along every day. You don't have to be besties, but you have to you have to be in a positive environment. So I think I heard that day that I tested, that I booked it, and it just felt like a dream.